Damn level 3 Jigglypuffs got me on lock. Hi guys, Jason here. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Green Japanese playthrough. Alright, so I've taken a little bit of time to level up my Thunder Rat, and I'm using it as a little bit of a defense against the constant swarm of Zubats that I've been running into in the Diglett's cave. Or, oh, damn it! Alright, Mount Moon. Alright, sorry, I had to actually look this up on my other Pokemon game using the map to actually get my bearings correct and realize what I'm actually doing. Last episode, basically, I made no progress, and I was doing quite poorly, but I decided I'd take a little bit of time and level up Pikachu, because, I mean, Thunderbolt is super awesome against these things, and even though he's not the strongest Pokemon, I'm probably not necessarily battle-ready, he can at least do a decent amount of damage against the swarm of Zubats that I'll run into. So also, in the last episode, I was talking about Solgaleo and Lunala. I was correct about the typing for Solgaleo with the Psychic Steel, but I was incorrect with the typing for Lunala. Lunala is not a Dark Ghost type, she is a Psychic Ghost type. So, I mean, again, nothing new as far as I'm aware. When you look at, what is it, Hoopa, before you make the form change with the prison bottle, Hoopa is a Psychic Ghost type, but then turns into a Psychic Dark type when she's in the Unbound form. But either way, I mean, it's a good typing, and I like it a lot. Dark Psychic Ghost moves are like my favorite types of moves to use, but again, I don't know. I don't see a real reason to use the legendary Pokemon because they're overpowered. They have higher base stats and everything like that, and I'd rather find a group of 6 Pokemon in the regular gameplay and use those guys instead. I should have switched to Pidgey. That's okay. I can tackle him to death. Anyway, moving on with the Sun and Moon news. Basically, in the trailer as well, they introduced you better to a few of the actual people on the island, and then they also showed you more of the islands themselves. Now, people were freaking out about like the Amazon listing for Pokemon Sun and Moon, saying that multiple islands, but it sort of makes sense. The island that they showed you at the very, in the very beginning with the trailers, there's just one island, and it's really small. There wasn't really any grass, there wasn't any cities, and it's not like you could hide very much inside that one little island. Even if you were like looking at a map of it, I mean, it'd have to be all underground or something like that, or everything takes place on one very tiny island and you battle the same gym leader again to get your gym badges every single time, and they use a different Pokemon. But I highly doubt that they would ever use any sort of thing like that. That'd be pretty lame. So we're going to switch to Pidgey real quick. Battle this Bellsprout. It looks like a light bulb attached to a leaf. But anyway, so the more expanded view of the map that they gave, it showed 4 main islands with a man-made island in the middle, as well as a couple littler islands off to this, like the bottom left and the top right. I think one of them was a little bit hidden by some cloud cover. And even if you look at the maps in like good detail, one thing that you notice is that they're sparsely populated as far as towns go. So even though these map images that they gave you are, they're fairly detailed. I mean, it's a large image file and it's got lots of detail to it. There is still the potential possibility that they're still hiding some stuff from us. Either they omitted certain buildings or certain towns from the actual map, or the map is still a condensed version of what the entire thing is. And all that means is that it's just like, if they were to draw it all out, there'd be more. And I almost think that there's more islands too. Like, I want to say that there will be more large islands that you can go to, and whether those are post-game content or something that you end up exploring through the actual normal course of the game, you know, is yet to be decided. I mean, we'll find out soon. I mean, what, it's June, and they come out in November, so it's not like we have an incredibly long amount of time to wait. 5 months will go by like a, you know, like snap of a finger, especially if you're, you know, working 40 hours a week and doing whatever else you have to do to keep up your lifestyle by the time that they actually come out. But I'm definitely excited. One thing that I'm noticing from the maps is that surfing really won't be needed to get between the islands. It seems like the islands are, I want to say, quote-unquote, too far away to surf between. And while there may be a lot of surfable ocean between them, I think ultimately you do have to rely on ferries or boats to actually get through. And that could be a story element that they use to postpone some game progress by making it so that you have to either beat a gym leader to get a ferry ticket, or you have to help a certain amount of people on the island to earn the ticket, you know, a different way. I don't think that the ferries will be completely accessible from the very beginning, making it so that you do actually have to follow some normal game progression. And while, you know, in most Pokemon games there is a way to go ahead of like the projected story area, you can never really get that far. And usually the reason why is because you need an HM move like Strength or Surf or something like that to actually let you get through a specific roadblock. But, you know, it's all very possible that there's more to it than what we're actually seeing. And, I mean, I'll be excited if there is. I'll be excited if I can play the game. So, no matter what there is, you know, it's fine. One thing that I've noticed, you know, from the remake of Ruby and Sapphire is that they are definitely trying to make it so that after you beat the game, there's stuff there. There's things to do. You know, aside from just catching Pokemon, there's lots that they added to it. And I only hope that using that same sort of philosophy, they're going to continue adding more and more to the games. I mean, I assume that in programming these games for so long, you know, they're able to say, it's like, well, I want to add all sorts of stuff like this. And, I mean, I think the best post-game content was always when you finished in Johto, and lo and behold, here's a, you know, ferry ticket that takes you to Kanto. You could actually go around and visit all of the cities. They were smaller. They were definitely not as grandiose. Oh, here's Duckface Ekans again, as the original game. But you still got to travel around like an entire different region. And I think one of my biggest dreams is that eventually they'll have a game that interlinks, you know, multiple again, or if not all of the regions in one. I can't battle Ekans with this. But, I mean, I imagine that if they ever do that, it'll basically be the end of Pokemon, or that's when they'll take them to a home console and, you know, make it a much bigger series. But, I don't know. One can dream. But no, it'd be kind of cool if there was actually legitimate areas to explore outside of the Alola region, because I'd like to see more. I would really, really, really like to see that. But, you know, we'll find out more, and they'll leak information to us every so often. I mean, there'll be the Korokoro leaks that'll happen on the internet, and then people will find out information like a day before Nintendo actually decides that they're going to release it. And I think one thing that Nintendo does, or is doing lately, is when information about some of their games or products are actually leaking before they can actually say it, in order to, like, not fall underneath the deny bandwagon, they actually just own up to it and just say, yeah, here you go, and just release it basically as soon as they possibly can put together like an actual presentation, I guess. Which is good. I mean, there's no reason to hide something. Yeah, it sucks that sometimes story development gets a little bit leaked beforehand, or, You know, you find out all of the characters in the game before you're really supposed to, but, I mean, honestly, Nintendo's trying to do a lot of damage control with stuff like that, and, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Alright, I can kick this Zubat's butt. Okay, well, I definitely need to heal my Pokemon again, and it's quite a slog to get back there from here. So I'm going to end this episode right here, and I'll pick up the next time a little bit further on from this little side cave. So I'll see you guys later. Bye! Business Pikachu recommends that if you like this video, you click the like button, and if you want to see more updates on when new videos come out, click the subscribe button. Let me know down below what you think of the video, too. Otherwise, I think Pikachu might have some ideas about what his quote-unquote dragon cohorts might do to you.